Background of the Battle of Uhud, 625 CE. The Battle of Uhud was a major early conflict in Islamic history, fought in 625 CE, 3 AH near Mount Uhud, just north of Medina. Understanding its background explains why it happened and why its lessons are so important. 1. Aftermath of the Battle of Badr. A year earlier, Muslims had won a decisive victory at the Battle of Badr, 624 CE, against the Quraysh of Mecca. Many leading Quraysh figures were killed or captured. This defeat badly damaged Quraysh prestige and trade power. The Quraysh vowed revenge and began preparing a large military expedition. 2. Quraysh's motivation and preparation. The Quraysh, led by Abu Sufyan, raised a force of about 3,000 soldiers, including cavalry and experienced fighters. Their goals were to avenge Badr, to restore honor, to intimidate Medina and weaken the growing Muslim community. 3. Situation in Medina. The Muslims in Medina, led by Prophet Muhammad, numbered about 1,000 at first. Around 300 hypocrites withdrew before the battle, leaving 700 Muslims. A council discussion took place. Some preferred to defend from inside Medina. Younger companions wanted to meet the enemy outside. The decision was made to go out and face the Quraysh near Mount Uhud. 4. Strategic importance of Mount Uhud. Mount Uhud was chosen because it protected the Muslim rear. The terrain reduced the effectiveness of Quraysh cavalry. A small hill nearby was used to place archers to guard the flank. This later became crucial. 5. Key personal losses and emotional stakes. The Quraysh army included people seeking personal revenge, such as Hind bint Utbah, whose father was killed at Badr, many Meccans who lost relatives and wealth. On the Muslim side, respected companions were present, including Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib, making the battle emotionally significant. 6. Why the Battle of Uhud matters. The background of Uhud shows that it was not just a military clash, but a test of discipline and obedience, a continuation of the struggle for survival of the Muslim community, a moment that taught long-lasting moral and strategic lessons. Here's a step-by-step account of the Battle of Uhud, 625 CE. 1. Deployment of forces. Muslims, 700 soldiers, positioned themselves at the foot of Mount Uhud. Prophet Muhammad placed 50 archers on a small hill, later called the Archers' Hill, to protect the Muslim flank from cavalry attacks. Quraysh, 3,000 soldiers, lined up facing the Muslims, including elite cavalry units led by Khalid ibn Walid, who at that time was still a commander for Quraysh. 2. The initial clash. The battle began with skirmishes and duels between the two sides. Muslims had an early advantage due to terrain and archers' positioning. Many Quraysh soldiers were killed and they began to retreat temporarily. The archers' mistake. Seeing the Quraysh flee, many archers left their posts to collect war spoils, disobeying Prophet Muhammad's orders. This left the Muslim right flank exposed, creating a vulnerable gap. 4. Khalid ibn Walid's cavalry attack. Khalid ibn Walid, noticing the gap, led a cavalry charge against the exposed Muslim rear. This reversed the momentum, turning a potential Muslim victory into a dangerous situation. 5. Heavy Muslim losses. Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib, the Prophet's uncle and a heroic Muslim warrior, was killed. Many other companions were also killed or wounded. Muslims were forced to retreat up the slopes of Mount Uhud, losing the battlefield but not being completely routed. 6. Prophet Muhammad injured. Prophet Muhammad himself was injured, and a rumor of his death briefly spread, causing panic among some Muslims. His resilience and leadership prevented total collapse. 7. End of the battle. The Quraysh did not pursue aggressively into Medina because they feared ambush or a counterattack. The battle ended without a clear victory for either side. But strategically, it was a lesson in obedience and discipline for Muslims. 8. Aftermath. Muslims regrouped in Medina. Moral and spiritual lessons became a key focus. Obedience to leadership, patience and reliance on God. Quraysh were satisfied with revenge, but the Muslims remained strong in faith and unity. The key takeaways from Uhud. Obedience matters more than numbers. Discipline and strategy can outweigh courage alone. Leadership presence can inspire soldiers even in setbacks. Muslims learned humility and patience. The Quraysh learned that the Muslims were resilient and still a force to reckon with.